Hi everyone, I'm Francesca from junkjournaljoy, and today's video is really special because I received a happy mail, a lovely surprise from a dear friend of mine who is also a talented author, and she is Alessandra D'Auria. Last year I bought one of her books, and it truly kept me company during a short time in my life. I'll always be deeply grateful for the stories she writes. They have such a warmth and soul. This time, though, she sent me a gift. Along with the book, she included some beautiful antique cards, genuinely vintage, nearly 100 years old, and they come with a story. I just have to share with you. Apparently these papers belonged to one of Alessandra neighbors who was getting ready to move. He has started piling things outside to throw them away, and these were among them. When she saw them, Alessandra asked him if she could kept them instead. Thank goodness he did. I mean, imagine throwing away something so special. She literally saved them from the trash. She held on them for a while, but since she doesn't have much time these days to use them in her junk journals, she decided to pass them on to me, so I could not only enjoy them, but also share them with you all. And now we get to look through them together and think about how to repurpose these beautiful pieces of history in one of my junk journals. Oh, and if you are into romance, historical fiction with a little bit of mystery and magic, Alessandra's novels might be just your thing. I personally love her writing style, so her books are available online, and if you speak Italian or are you learning it, I've left links down in the info box so you can check them out. So I still working on this junk journal, and I thought it would be fun to add an envelope on the back just to bring in a little interactive element. I have this recycled envelope that I'll be using as a template. It's the perfect size and I really like its shape. I'm going to trace it onto one of these vintage papers that Alessandra sent to me. The sheets are quite large, which makes them ideal for creating an envelope like this. If you don't have a paper like mine, you can totally use an old calendar like this one, or even a magazine page with images that you love. Gardening and interior design magazine usually have beautiful layouts and colors, perfect for project like this one. From my stash of recyclable materials, I picked out this tissue paper that originally came with a pair of shoes. I thought it would be interesting to glue it over the vintage paper to tone down the colors a bit and add some texture, creating something unique and special. I'm using a glue stick for this. Then I'll trace the envelope shape using my template and cut it out with the scissors. Then I'm going to use an embossing folder to add some raised design. And if you don't have the embossing machine like the Big Shot, don't worry, I show you an alternative embossing method in this video. The link is in the description box. Let's start by gluing the tissue paper onto the vintage sheet. I'm using the Uhu glue stick, which works really well for this. In this case, it's much better to avoid liquid glue, since the paper is quite fragile and too much moisture could cause it to tear. I'm not trying to be too precise with the glue either, because actually some of those little imperfections can create really interesting effects, like small spots where the tissue leaves or wrinkles. They add a worn, aged feeling that makes vintage pieces so fascinating to me. It gives the sense that these objects has a story, that it's lived through something before finding its way into your hands. Now we can trace the envelope shape with a pencil using the template and then carefully cut along the edges. Oh, and don't throw away the scraps. You can totally reuse them, and I show you how at the end of this video. You can also fold some of the excess tissue paper inward in a few spots, just to add a bit of variation and movement to the surface. Now it's time to fold the envelope flaps, and for that a ruler really helps to get crisp, straight lines. I'm really happy with how it's turning out so far. I could decorate it further, of course, but for now I think I leave it just as it is. The emboss design will already be a strong visual element, and I don't want to overdo it. Now it's time to emboss. I'm only going to emboss the flap of the envelope because I want the texture to appear just in that area. And doing the whole envelope might be a bit too much, and usually less is more. So I'm grabbing my embossing machine. Mine is a Big Shot from 60s. I bought it online almost 8 years ago, and I'm still really happy with it. Now place the embossing folder over the flap, sandwich it between the plates, and then crank it through the machine using the handle. And there it is. The result is not exactly what I expected. I thought the tissue paper would tear a little, letting the brown of the vintage paper peek through, but instead the two layers fused beautiful under the pressure. I actually love how it turned out. One side feels more raw and textured, and the other is soft, smooth, and elegant, with the flower pattern standing out. Before the final touch, I want to close my envelope with some glue, like this. as you can see, it's not perfect, you see right there, so I want to emphasize this imperfection. Tear the edges a little bit, so I think it looks like some more vintage, so I really love the effect. Okay. And let me tell you, the inside is maybe even more beautiful than the outside. I don't know. I love it. I really like how we turn it out. As a final touch, I remember an experiment that I did a while ago. I had used some bronze wax on a collage pattern paper to highlight the embossing details, and it worked beautifully. So I want to do it also on my envelope a little bit. Let's see. I can find the wax, the same wax anymore, thought. I'm still in the middle of a big move and I keep losing everything. But I did find this silver one, which I bought about 7 years ago. It's basically the same thing, just a different color. And I think it works just fine. You can apply it with your fingers. Ideally, I should be wearing gloves, but of course I forgot. Just gently rub it over the embossed area, and it really helps the texture to stand out. I have to say, it works so much better over the brown background. I love that it adds this little surprise on the inside of the envelope, something you don't expect. Okay? And because this detail turned out so nicely, I don't want to hide it by gluing the envelope down. So for now, I'll just use a paper clip to hold it in place, or maybe attach it with some removable washi tape. I don't know. Maybe you can suggest something in the comments below. Let me know. But for now, I'm leaving like this. That way, the person who received this journal can decide what they prefer and make it their own. And maybe we can add something like, I don't know, some embellishment right here. I don't know, or a tag underneath. I don't know. We'll see next time. And finally, I wanted to show you how to reuse some scraps, and it's very simple because you can turn into pieces like this and this, and using your embossing machine again. So you'll have some really pretty scraps to use for collage, or as a part of a page or a pocket, something like this, or as an embellishment for example, a tag or another envelope. I don't know, use your imagination. The possibilities are endless, as always. So this is the result. I like it very, very much. Okay, that's the result. And you can play embossing, as you can see, the front or the back of your scraps, and you'll have different result, as you can see here. And I really love these ones. It's a little treasure, so I think I'm going to collect them in my book as a reference for the future. Okay. So thank you so much for spending this creative moment with me. Until next time, take care and keep making beautiful things. Bye.